Call this Loveland Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, 6 o'clock Thursday, October 27th to order, and we will rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
A roll call.
Yes, sir. 1 second. Mr. O'Neill,
Here.
Mr. Bateman,
Here.
Mr. Kressler.
Here.
We have a quorum.
I move we excuse our other two members since they have a conflict since they are members of the applicant.
Second.
So moved.
So I had Mr. Kressler with the first, Mr. Bateman with the second.
Yep.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And that moves us into old business. So case number 202207, St. Columban Community Center site plan review.
Yes, sir. Just a little bit of background. I won't belabor it too much, and I appreciate the commission coming in at 6 this evening to hear this. If you recall, we had the original site plan review application for St. Columban. There was a lot of questions and a lot of feedback that we had as a result of the meeting, and went back to the applicant and the applicant's design team, and they were very responsive in that regard and furnished really plans responsive to the conditions that the Planning and Zoning Commission had incorporated in their continuation motion. And so specifically addressing those, and I'll just go through that, they have, and they did not at the time of the submittal because we were trying to expedite this because of the timeline on the project, because again, they're as sensitive to anybody to price escalations which continue, and wanting to get the project moving. They did submit some revised layouts on the storm sewer, did address the additional inlets on that to assist with the if one structure fails, it's not a single point of failure into the building. They upsize the storm pipe. They actually, I did see that Cindy actually has a revised grading plan where they addressed the stormwater grading now that she's looking at, which pushes it significantly further away from the building. And I was actually down there this week at the old building for another reason, and I saw those and got a chance to look at those, and she seemed, as part of the review that I think the assessment was much better, that everything was much better. And again, there'll still be reviews as part of that permitting process, but for that she seemed very positive in that. Given that the city looked at the parking yield, they provided us with an assessment of the parking yield, which is part of the packet. There is more than adequate parking when you couple in the overflow lot in the football area and then the dedicated pedestrian access points that they have to convey that traffic through the site. And then they also have it structured with their operations that there would not be an instance that would require an excess of parking over and above the abundant amount that they have both in traditional paved spaces plus overflow lot spaces. So that addressed that condition. With regard to the sidewalk, we were able to discuss with them that perhaps it's premature to do that, and looking at with the additional land coming into the city and some other projects that the city would be willing with a 50% partnership, as we've done in other places where we extend that, and address that pedestrian crossing at a later date as part of a larger project. So that really makes sense to do that and do it correctly instead of a piecemeal approach in this instance, particularly because of the development to the east, the development of the park property to the east of that, and tying all that together. So that's a long-term kind of 5 to 10 year thing. And I think that would be appropriate to forego that at this time, but they are aware and of that and have expressed a willingness to work with the city at a future time. So given that, with those, I would indicate that you have several options tonight. You could elect to approve the site plan as modified, allowing it to advance. You could elect to require additional modifications. And I would say, while not recommended, you could continue this, or you could deny the proposed application. I really don't think, and again, it's in the commission's discretion, but I don't think 3 and 4 are really the best options. If you do look at the recommendation, it is staff's recommendation that for approval in this instance, with one additional modification. And again, that's our standard regulatory review agency comment, which just says when you're in permitting, you meet all your requirements, right? And then the other part, we did ask for the detailed landscaping plan so that we can review it for sufficiency at the time of permitting. And that's reasonable given a project of this magnitude. That gives them the chance when they're in the permit review stage to just get a landscape architect involved and just give us some detailed planning. And we would ask for the discretion to be able to approve that administratively. That concludes my report.
Corey and I met with some of the parish members, and they really did attack almost everything Cindy asked for. And we know Cindy's a bit of a stickler when it comes to storm drainage, but for what it's worth, she's a stickler across the board to everyone. So we really applaud St. Columban taking this on the way they did. So, and like Corey and I discussed, sidewalks at some point in time, we're getting ready to go up Loveland Miamiville Road, which will help connect us to them. There is an inevitable future with the big Claremont County Park that will be coming down 48, and to put a sidewalk to nowhere at this time really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So we're going to sort of hold off and look at that at a future period of time.
And I would also note one critical item was when we talked about the storm sewer system in the ADA ramp, and they did add a curb barrier to the back of the parking lot, which will prevent overland flow from directly influencing that, which was very significant in my mind. And then added the inlet structures, and then also upsize the pipes. So that will provide additional capacity for that. It's not designed for a 5 or a 10 or whatever the rate. It's significantly over designed. And I'm a huge proponent of that if you can, because of the propensity of those systems. You're going to have failures. You're going to have ice damming. So more inlets and bigger pipes are always better. So.
Does anybody have any questions, comments?
Is the applicant gonna? Do you have anything you need to say? You're just here to answer questions.
I think there are questions.
I had one.
Which one do you want?
Recommendation.
Go ahead, Al.
I've talked to Cindy a little bit about, and I'm fine with the drainage now. The only thing I'd recommend is, where you have that handicap ramp going down to the main entrance. You've got a catch basin here, which I'd recommend to be it's probably going to be precast, so a square beehive, so a little bit of snow. But the other thing is, you got a catch basin here, and you're going to have to run water. This is probably 24 to 30 feet wide. Would you consider a trench drain along there? Because trying to get all that to flow over that, because you're going to have to meet the floor. So these are all going to be dead level. As I said to you earlier, these are the kind of problems I spent my career solving. So from the benefit of my experience, and it could even be a corrugated slot drain, that you just put the pipe in there and pour the, so here, that's a gift to you. That was just a suggestion, that's.
Otherwise, you guys need to take action and everything moves forward.
From my side, the storm drainage was the big issue. So if it seems to be meeting the,
And the only thing I could see was that at the door, the 24 to 28 foot, it's dead flat. You're trying to run it to one catch basin there or another one. It's tough. You're better off with it. And going into a gym, I don't know that a lot of people are going to be wearing spike heels. It's, yeah. So just my suggestion.
Can't be too sure. 12. Would anybody like to make a motion?
I move we approve case 2022 not 22, 2022-07 St. Clement Community Center site plan as submitted with proviso condition that it meet the requirements of the city engineer during the permitting process,
Do you want to include the landscaping plan?
and including a landscape plan and an arrangement for the sidewalk has been
TBD.
verbally agreed to. Put something in writing for that.
Second.
So I have a motion and a second. Mr. Kressler with the motion, Mr. Bateman with the second. I guess, am I supposed to ask for any discussion? Or is that, or you want me to call the roll, sir?
If anybody's got any discussion, be happy to discuss it. I don't.
I don't.
I will call the roll. Mr. Kressler?
Yes.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Motion carries. Application is approved by a vote of 3-0. And they can proceed to site plan, through permitting, and we look forward to advancing the project and seeing it come out of the ground.
What's your budget? I ran ours was 2.26. I was 25,000 over at the end. And only because we found bad dirt under the parking lot after they'd spent all the contingents. Yeah. But let me tell you, here's the rules I had. The rules I had I had just retired church council president. She wanted me to be the church rep. I said, we'll be on time. We'll be on budget. I don't care who I upset. And if you have a bright idea, I want to check for the cost of the change if it's more. So there you go.
Yeah.
Well, we had an option for the back covered walkway. We rebid it, took it out because it was 60 grand over budget. The minister got a check for that and walked around for 2 weeks with it in his wallet and didn't tell me. And I'm going, is that petty cash to you? So
I'll make a
Anyway.
motion that we adjourn.
Yeah. Adjourned.
adjourn.
Mr. Bateman with the first, who at the second, Mr. O'Neill, all in favor, please
Aye.
signify by saying aye. We're adjourned at 6:14 p.m.
Good luck with your budget.
We
Hope-
tried to get
Hope
you.
you stay there. Hope you're
tried-
as successful
We
as
tried
we
to
were.
get you in here sooner, but we just kept having date conflicts with other board meetings or
only the three of us able to vote
voting.